We're going to have a good competitive camp. It's a harder team to make than I've ever had from the pitching standpoint, and starts today. Nobody's going to win the job or lose a job today, but everything matters.
All right, welcome to our series Road to Lakeland. It's time to play ball, apparently. It's the start of a new era in Detroit as the Tigers' future success lies in the hands of the young guys.
And as the team enters years 10 of a playoff drought, fans are hungry for exciting baseball at Comerica Park. Last year, they showed some promise, finishing second in the AL Central and 6 games back of 500.
This offseason, Tigers president of baseball operations, Scott Harris, went out and made a couple of moves. One of those moves coming over the weekend. The Tigers signing utility man Keston Hiura to a minor league contract. 27-year-old spent 4 seasons with the Milwaukee Brewers, but spent all last season in AAA.
All this week, you're going to hear from Tigers radio play-by-play broadcaster Dan Dickerson as he previews the upcoming season. Our
producer Brandon Rothenberg spoke with Dan as he talks about the new faces you'll see rocking the Old English D.
What do you think of Scott Harris bringing on this group for this season?
Well, I just think he's done everything when he took the job before the 2023 season that he said he was going to do. Identify those players who can come in with an idea of how to dominate the strike zone on both sides of the ball, whether you're a pitcher or a position player. And really, with every one of his moves, he did that. And if it was not an obvious player who fit that description, he trusted that this team, this coaching staff would be able to figure out how to get the most out of that pitcher. Michael Lorenzen, a great example. He wanted this to be a destination point for players to come to wherever they were in their career. Michael Lorenzen became the best spokesperson for that when he got traded and talked about all the good things the Tigers did to help him advance his career. So he keeps identifying these guys. And to me, the art and the science of that job is not just identifying the skills, but also the player and what type of person they are. So when they come in, you know that this is someone who is going to be a positive force in the clubhouse because he believes in clubhouse culture, but doesn't just give it lip service. He's putting the pieces together because he knows what kind of person he's getting, and that guy who wants to get better with a good work ethic every single day. And that takes a lot of work. You know what the numbers are, but you have to find out by talking to people what kind of person you're getting if you don't know the person. So I like all the moves they've made. Mark Canha was the first move. Then you had to lengthen this lineup. This lineup was 3rd worst in the American League. You're going to still rely on young hitters to make it better this year, but you had to start lengthening the lineup. You found out about Carpenter and Green and Torkelson last year as middle of the order bats, but that, there just were too many dead spots in the lineup. Mark Canha helps lengthen the lineup. You need those 3 to continue to improve, always remembering that improvement for young hitters is not linear. And now you're making room for Colt Keith, who they just signed to that contract before a major league at bat. But that tells you this is what the good teams do. Identify the future stars, lock them up, tells you that Colt Keith is going to be on this opening day roster almost certainly. So I would love another veteran bat, but this is a rare time in Tigers history. I think you have to go back to '84 in terms of you're in a period of 2-3 years where you're going to add 5, 6, 7 legitimate young hitters to your lineup. That's incredible. That's more than they've developed in terms of developed through their minor leagues over the last 30 years. So that's exciting to me. And they have to give those kids a chance to show what they can do. Jace Jung is another hitter who's on the way. So what does that mean? That means the offense has to improve, has to get to a certain level, move toward the middle of the pack, but the Tigers clearly going to try to win with run prevention. And that's why I love the signings of Maeda, who we saw several times after he came back from his injury in a Twins uniform. Outstanding. I mean, that splitter is devastating, very consistent. Love that deal. Jack Flaherty has been hittable the last 2 years, but 2018, 2019, one of the top 5-6 pitchers in the National League when he was with the Cardinals. And the Tigers now see he's healthy. We can get him back to that level because they've got the staff to do it. Shelby Miller developed, what do the Dodgers do? They make guys better, right? Like Tampa Bay. Developed that splitter. Now he's a lights out, almost unhittable reliever. he's going to add to the bullpen with Chafin, like you mentioned. Now that bullpen, Lang, Foley, don't forget about Vest, and then, oh yeah, the MVP of the bullpen, Tyler Holton. I mean, that's your top six, and you've got more arms to add to them. Bo Brisky, I think, could be a force out of the bullpen. He's still learning that role. So I think for fans, it's like you gave up 730 runs, you scored 660. You have to basically turn those two numbers around. Your offense has to outscore the opponent, or your team has to outscore their opponents by roughly 60, 70 runs if you want to approach 88, 90 wins. So that's the formula that, to me, I'm looking at. And the Tigers are going to clearly do it by trying to prevent runs, run prevention. That's good defense plus pitching. And then on the offensive side, hopefully you're getting to the point where they're now, these young hitters, at least advancing this offense to the middle of the pack. So I like the moves that he's made. I'm excited about it. And I think there's only one goal going into this season, and that's trying to win the Central.
And tomorrow on our Road to Lakeland series, Dan talks about the importance of the Tigers pitching staff and their impact on the young guys in the rotation.